Right then. Morning, everybody. Welcome to this next session of interviews with our 30 under 30 winners from 2025. And I'm really pleased to be joined today with Barry. You're from Sonas in Northern, is it Northern Ireland?
Dublin, Ireland.
Dublin, Ireland, sorry. And also Macie and Samuel, who are both from Villeroy and Boch. So let me go first of all to you, Sam, if that's okay. Would you just like to introduce yourself, your role within the company, and how long you've been with Villeroy?
Yeah, so I'm Sam. I am the order fulfillment manager at Villeroy and Boch. I work at the office based in Hull. I've been with the business just over 3 years now. So I started at the entry level as part of the coordinator team. I stepped up to be the team leader for the Island channel. So I looked after the merchants in the Republic and the North. And then in April last year became the manager of the setup. So looking after all of the routes to market that we cover in Hull.
Wow. So that was quite a quick progression through your career, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what was your sort of day-to-day kind of role look like?
How long have we got? I manage 3 team leaders and a specialist, which is the sort of the coaching role between the teams. So the team leaders each cover a route to market. So Ireland is one of them, and then we cover the independent merchants as well across the UK, and then we also cover retail distribution and online customers. So it can be a range of dealing with different stakeholders, customer escalations, and just a general point of contact for the teams in the day-to-day. And then sort of in the background, I look after a lot of the reporting and the data and looking after some of the systems that we use as well to make sure we're operational.
That's quite extensive. I don't suppose there's much spare time in your day, is there?
Not a lot of it. When I do get it, I am also doing a level 5 apprenticeship in operations management. So I'm trying to juggle a few things on the day-to-day, let's say.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Macie, what about you? What's your role? How long have you been there?
So I am a project pricing team leader, and I've been with Villeroy and Boch now for just over 5 years. So similar to Sam's journey, I started at entry level within the project pricing team, then became an estimator for a while, and then took on the team leader role across residential and non-residential. And we've since then taken on another team leader for the residential team just for capacity reasons. So I'm solely non-residential now. And similar to Sam, in my spare time, I'm also doing a level 5 ops management apprenticeship. So a lot of development and stuff going on this side, I think.
Good grief, you're putting us all to shame, you young uns are. So your role then, Macie, I mean, that's so it's just purely residential now that you're concentrating on?
Non-residential for myself.
Non-residential,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. So hospitals, schools, public buildings, churches, that sort of thing. Absolutely anything you could think of in the commercial market, we price up the sanitary ware for that. So we get inquiries through, and then we have prospect leads as well. So we're like going for new business, but mostly reactive at the moment to incoming business at the start of the year. But yeah.
And is it all looking positive? Is there a good pipeline there?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's expanding more this year. So we're focusing more on like the education settings at the moment and trying to push some new solutions in there, and then in healthcare as well. So we've got a few more technologies that are coming out this year for healthcare solutions as well.
I don't suppose you can shed any light on those, or is it top secret?
Not necessarily top secret. I think it's more just advancements on stuff that we already have. So like different finishes in accessible packages and things like that, which just makes you a little bit more competitive in the market, really.
Yeah. Okay. Coming to you then, Barry. What's your role? How long have you been there?
Yes, so I'm product designer for Sonas bathrooms. So I essentially design all the products we have in our kind of collection, all the newer products. So yeah, so ranging from sanitary ware to brassware to showering, so a little bit of everything. So it's kind of exciting, always something new to work on. And I've been with the company about 3 years now, so it's flown by now. So, but it's overall enjoyable.
you said it quite like, oh, I'm just designing everything. But I don't
Well,
think it's, oh, I'm just designing everything.
No, it's not necessarily like it's. I kind of have like probably the handiest job of all, really. You know, I just get to make things look nice, but there's a real team around me that kind of make me, or that kind of allow me to do my job in a nice way. So it's I'm just thankful I've got a good kind of technical director and good product managers. So they kind of allow me to do my job, and they kind of look after a lot of the kind of more technical side and kind of the more kind of nitty gritty kind of aspect of the job, I suppose. So it's nice. It's nice.
So, I mean, obviously there's huge creative mind there that you have. And then I don't know how does it work then? So you're there as a creative kind of person, and then do the technical people come and say, actually, no, that's not going to work that way?
I suppose it's more of a kind of a continuous conversation being had. So essentially what happened, the product manager would kind of come to me with kind of insights on kind of our existing products or kind of opportunities for us to kind of look at. So then I would go out and kind of come back with a few ideas, come back to kind of the technical director and to kind of the category managers. So it's kind of a continuous conversation, really, as opposed to me kind of showing them something and then telling me saying, no, not possible, that's not true, or like. So it's nice. It's a continuous kind of ongoing kind of relationship.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a really fascinating role. I mean, I'm sure from concept to end result is quite a long process.
Yeah, and often the end product won't necessarily always look exactly like the initial concept, but it's kind of it's nice too, because you always have to make kind of minor changes and minor kind of I suppose improvements in some circumstances, but generally it's a fun process. It can be kind of taxing and kind of a bit tough at times because it's never really kind of linear. It's always kind of you're going back and changing things and a few minor changes, but it's nice, and it's kind of overall it's quite rewarding and fulfilling, so it's nice.
Oh, that's good. Sam and Macie, you both said you came in at an entry level. How did that happen, that sort of route in to where you're working now?
For me, I had a bit of a altering of life course. So I studied history at uni for 3 years with the ambition to go be a teacher. And while I was studying, I was a shop manager at a betting shop. So a bit of a different setting for me at first, but I quite liked the idea of sort of managing people and managing what was a shop at the time. So after I finished uni, I stayed there for a couple of years on a track to becoming like an area manager, but the company restructured, which meant my pathway was a little bit blocked. So at the time, I started to apply for more office-based, a bit more Monday to Friday career path roles, and I took the interview at Ideal Standard, I think, in the September 2022, and I joined in the October 2022. So for me, it was about a bit of a shift, but I wanted stability and a business that was, you know, quite prominent in the UK, and I didn't realise Ireland at the time, but quite a big business where I could sort of get my foot in the door and see where I can go from there.
That makes sense. And was that similar with you, Macie? Were you at uni and studying something that was completely not related to where you are now?
No, mine's quite different actually. So I left school, didn't do university, didn't really do anything. I started an apprenticeship and was like, this isn't for me. Very fortunate that my family own a bakery. So I was then bakery manager for about 4 years. Realised pretty similar to Sam, it wasn't really something that was going to carry me into like the rest of my life, and I wanted something like a little bit more to go at. But I'll be completely honest, it was so unintentional. Like I joined the business just because it was an office job and I wanted something with something more to it. I don't think I realised the doors that it would actually open for me, or the drive that it would put in me either. So there's certain parts of the role that just inspired me and made me realise that this is something that I enjoy doing or that I'm actually quite good at. And then I think that's just spurred me on. So each upstep that I've made or sidestep that I've made has been completely unintentional, but has always seemed to pay off. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm in a good position now, really.
Yeah, yeah. And what about you, Barry? Was the creative side always within you?
Yeah, I suppose my journey's probably a bit more straightforward. I suppose I went to university in kind of the west of Ireland, did 4 years there, and finished up, and then I got a job for a glass company as a design technician. And then eventually I wanted something a bit more creative and a kind of something that kind of was a bit more aligned to product design. So, which is what I did my degree in. So from there, then I got the job at Sonas Bathrooms, and that's where I've been for the past 3 years now. So it's not been as kind of it's been a lot more straightforward, I suppose. You know, I'm kind of fortunate enough that way, to be honest.
Yeah, with speaking to a lot of you guys that won last year as part of the 30 under 30, one of the things that's become obvious is that most people sort of fell into the role accidentally. But I think that's for a lot of people throughout their careers. You know, there's the intention of, you know, perhaps studying for something, but then going into the bathroom industry seems almost accidental. But from everybody we've spoken to, it seems that the roles that they're in are really fulfilling, and that seems obvious with you guys. So, you know, you've come into your roles, and then you were obviously nominated by your peers and, you know, your colleagues there. So just wondered, Sam, just come to you first. Did you know that you were nominated for the award?
No, it was a strange one. So my boss did say that she was going to put me forward for it, and then I didn't hear anything for quite a lot of months, and then it popped into my head one day, and I went back and had a look at when the deadline was, and the deadline had long passed, and I'd not heard anything. So I thought that's sort of that it's been and gone. And then again, a couple of months passed after that, and I got dragged into, we have like a boardroom upstairs in Hull, and I got dragged into there under the premise of doing some training for Salesforce at the time. And my boss was sat in there, and a lady called Vicky, who's a senior HR business partner. So I thought, I've really done something wrong here. Until I turned to the screen and I saw Macie and I saw Aaron with their line managers, and I thought, this is either really good or really, really bad. And it was good, thankfully.
So at that point, did you know that you'd actually won as part of the 2025 cohort, or that you were still just as a shortlisted nomination?
I think we were sort of told that we'd won and we were going to be a part of the awards night. Yeah.
Oh, and I presume that was quite a good moment for you.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was initial relief, but yeah, it was great to be nominated and recognised, definitely.
Yeah. And what about you, Macie? Obviously, you were pulled into this meeting. Did you think, oh Lord, what have I done?
Yeah, I had no idea at all. And as a team leader, obviously you attend like certain meetings and things like that, like disciplinaries or HR meetings, whatever it is. And so when I've been into certain meetings before, there's been like a neutral HR representative, and we had one from the production team in there because Aaron from our production team had also won the nomination. And so I'd gone in there and I thought, oh my God, they've got this neutral HR representative and I'm definitely getting sacked. Something's gone wrong. So yeah, it was a much nicer realization to find out that we'd been obviously awarded.
Yeah.
So
from a cruel point of view, from the people that we've been speaking to, it's quite funny that people are going into these meetings thinking, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, I think it's a natural response, isn't it? Even when you've done nothing, you still assume that you have.
Was that similar for you as well, Barry? Did you know that you'd been nominated, firstly?
No, I actually didn't know until I was kind of shortlisted. My boss put me forward and didn't really let me know until he had something good to tell me, I suppose. So that was nice. And yeah, I suppose going to the event, I didn't necessarily know that I was going to receive an award. So that was a nice little surprise too. So overall, it was nice to be kind of recognized and rewarded for kind of the work that we've been doing in the industry. So overall, it's really nice. It's a really nice thing.
Yeah. And has there been anything else since you've won the award, you know, internally, people, you know, with the pat on the backs, those sorts of things?
We have just presented at our commercial conference. Myself, Macie and Aaron were told maybe a couple of weeks before Christmas that we were going to get up on stage in front of 200 people and the board of directors and say, tell everyone about how good you are for 15 minutes. So that was a nice surprise. It's sort of ruined a Christmas or two, but it went really, really well, Macie, and we got some really nice feedback,
Yeah,
and
it was really good.
something we'd want to do again, I think.
That's brilliant. So that's almost off the back of the 30 under 30, then you were then forced into this potentially uncomfortable situation. But it's a good test of character to be able to stand up. I mean, how did you feel about it, Macie? Were you a bit nervous?
Yeah, I think we were all a bit nervous. So we got there the night before and we were all sort of like sat in the hotel rehearsing our lines with each other and just making sure that we were like all okay to go up there. But I think we pulled it off so well. Like I think we were worried about reading like cue cards and stuff, and most of the time we were just sort of saying it from what we knew, because it's our story at the end of the day and it's our journeys to talk about. But yeah, I think once we'd come off the stage, there was like that, oh my God, I feel like a new person again, because like all of that stress is lifted. And then the whole rest of the 2 days of the conference were just so nice because everybody was really reassuring and really positive. It was really good. And it's opened a lot of like new networking opportunities as well with people that I would have never really have spoken to or didn't have a reason to speak to beforehand. So that's nice.
Yeah. And Barry, how about you? As it since winning, was there any embarrassing moments afterwards? People patting you on the back?
Not necessarily, just kind of a few shout outs from kind of I suppose CEO directors kind of at town halls and things like that. So it's nice to be recognized, and everybody in the company was quick to say congratulations and kind of all hopping around to the desk to have a look at the plaque and stuff like that. So it's been nice. It's been quite and it's just overall it's been really nice, and kind of the support that you get from putting yourself forward for things like that. It's nice too. It's kind of worth the kind of the tougher moments, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you all did so well. I mean, just getting shortlisted was actually quite a competitive process. So you have all done extremely well. I just wanted to finish on a bit of what you find most interesting about your job, the role that you have. Sam, what about you?
For me, I sort of touched on it earlier, but the variance of every day. There's no 2 days the same in the role, and I think like last week we just integrated a new Salesforce system. So for me, it was absolutely all hands on deck with getting that up and running. So that can be 1 week completely written off the calendar because you're sort of locked in a room building reports and dashboards for hours on end, which is great. I like to do that, but there's also sort of like the customer facing side of it and managing teams as well. There's just nothing the same about the role, and I think that's why I like it. It's really engaging, and there's something new to go at every
Yeah.
single day.
Yeah, that variance is useful, isn't it? It keeps you on your toes as well.
Yeah.
Macie, what about you? What's your favorite bit of your role?
So I think similar to Sam, I like having like a different challenge every day. It's always something to go at. There's always something to fix or look into or investigate. But I would say probably the actual organisation itself, and that's not just to say that. Like we have so much support behind us, whether it's just like networking across peers, but the actual board of like the committee of board members and stuff like that, they're really invested in the development of individuals.
Yeah.
So we have like so many opportunities, like with our apprenticeships. We're doing the level 5 at the moment, but we did the level 3 prior to that. And where I said before, like my journey was very unintentional, it's then made me intentional with it. So I'm actually doing like open university outside of work. So yeah, hopefully that will sort of take me where I want to go then, because I'm doing product development and design similar to Barry. So hopefully following the same similar sort of footsteps there, because I've realised my passion for the actual development of products by doing like factory tours and things. So that's another opportunity that the company provides for you to learn more about the product and things like that. So yeah, very exciting. I'm just happy of how it's inspired me to do more, really.
Yeah, and that continuous development for your careers, it's just so important.
Yeah.
Barry, what about you? Favorite part?
Well, similar to what the two lads were just kind of talking about in terms of kind of the variance. Kind of you're always working on something new, something different, especially because we kind of cover all kind of categories within the bathroom. So you're always working on something new, something different. Can't really dwell on something too long, which is quite nice, quite fast paced in terms of needing to get things done. So yeah, generally it's just really nice. And then of course the kind of full circle moment when you kind of see the product you kind of designed in showrooms or in people's bathrooms. Kind of, it's very fulfilling, I suppose.
Yeah, it must be quite a proud moment to think, yeah, I had a huge hand in that one.
But team effort as always, but it
Yeah.
is nice, to be fair.
No, that's great. I mean, obviously you're all having a great career, and it's absolutely wonderful to see. And yeah, the fact that you're still pursuing more education is just fantastic. You've all got huge bright futures ahead of you. I'm sure we have. It'd be great to see you at some of our upcoming events again. Be nice to see you in person again at some point. So for now, thank you very much for joining this call today. It's been really interesting to hear your journeys, and again, huge congratulations for winning on last year's 30 under 30, and hopefully see you again soon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate the
very
time.
much.
No problem. See you soon. Bye.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye.